Good morning, students. Welcome once again to my English classes. Students, as you all know, in my previous video, I was explaining the chapter Summit Within from your textbook, Honeydew. In this chapter, we have studied that how Major Ahluwalia conquered Mount Everest with his team members in the year 1965. Moreover, he describes his emotions and experience with the audience that how he felt when he stood on the highest point in the world. Students, let's continue further. You all can see into your textbook Honeydew on page number 78. Famous climbers have left records of the help given by others. They have also recorded how they needed just that help, else they might have given up. Breathing is difficult. You curse yourself for having let yourself in for this. You wonder why you ever undertook the ascent. There are moments when you feel like going back. It would be sheer relief to go down instead of up. But almost at once you snap out of that mood. There is something in you that does not let you give up the struggle. So, in these lines, the author is telling about famous climbers. Famous climbers are the famous persons who do the mountaineering, and the famous climbers are also those persons who are famous celebrities and people who became famous after doing the climbing also. So the people who are famous and doing climbing, they are known as famous climbers. So these people, when they do mountaineering, they leave records of the help given by others. They always remember the people who supported them, who motivated them, who guided them when they were in their tough times, when they were feeling embarrassed. At that moment, the people who helped them are never forgotten by the famous climbers. They also say that how they needed just that help, that how badly they were in need of that help was provided by the other people, else they might have given up. And they also tell that if these people were not there to help them, they would never have completed their climbing. Breathing is difficult. Further, Mr. Ahluwalia, he describes that when you are climbing the mountain, breathing becomes difficult. How? Because as we are climbing the mountains, the supply of oxygen becomes less, because on heights there is less oxygen. So a person feels difficulty in breathing. So at that time you feel to curse yourself for having let yourself in for this. Curse means wishing ill luck or wishing someone ill is known as curse. So you curse yourself that what made you come here, why you have come here, why you are doing this. You wonder why you ever undertook the ascent. Ascent means climb. You would be saying to yourself that why you came here for this climbing. This is so tough, this is so hard, and even you cannot take your breathing properly. So you curse yourself at such time. There are moments when you feel like going back, and a condition comes when you feel that you should go back. You should go back from this mountaineering. You are not supposed to do this climbing as it is very tough. It would be sheer relief to go down instead of going up. And you feel it would be better to leave it in between and you should go to the plains instead of climbing these mountains. But almost at once you snap out of that mood. But when you get support, when you get motivation, at that time these type of thoughts move away from your mind. There is something in you that does not let you give up the struggle, and when you get support, guidance and motivation from other people, at that time something in you gets risen up and you continue your struggle and you go on. Your companion keeps up with you, and at that time your companions means your teammates, the person who are doing climbing with you, the other people, they are known as companions. So your companions also keep up with you, just another 50 feet. They are also counting the destination, how much distance is left to finish, like just another 50 feet or just 100 maybe. You ask yourself, so you must be asking yourself and your companions that how much distance is left to be covered, is there no end, and when it is going to finish. You look at your companion and he looks at you, because you feel tired, you feel exhausted at the moment. So you both, means your companions and you, look at each other that when they would be coming to their destination. You draw inspiration from each other by supporting each other, by motivating each other, and by guiding each other. Both the parties here, both the companions here, they get inspiration. And then without first being aware of it, you are at the summit. And when you become a motivation to each other, at that time an energy enters into you, and that takes you at the summit. And once you are at the summit and looking around from the summit, you tell yourself that it was worthwhile. And once you reach that topmost peak of the mountain, you feel glad, you think on the top of the world, and you think that it was worthwhile, that you were giving motivation to each other, you were just helping each other in a positive manner. Other silvery peaks appears through the clouds, and once you look the whole view from the topmost peak, you would find that in the clouds you can see the peaks which look silver. The surrounding peaks also look like a jeweled necklace around the neck of your summit, and the nearby peaks, on the peak you are standing and the peaks nearby to it, they looks like a jeweled necklace around the neck of your summit. On the summit means on the topmost peak. Below you can see vast valleys sloping into the distance. From that you can see the beautiful panorama, you can see the beautiful views, scenes, that vast valleys are there and they are having the beautiful slopes. It is an ennobling, enriching experience to just look down from the summit of a mountain. So students, what's the meaning of ennobling? Ennobling means investing with dignity, giving honor to someone, giving respect to another person is known as ennobling. And what is the meaning of enriching here? Enriching means the thing which is precious. So that experience of yours becomes ennobling, enriching, to look from that summit down the peak. When you look, it becomes an ennobling experience which you are not going to forget your whole life. You bow down and make your obeisance to whichever god you worship. And he further adds that, Mr. Ahluwalia, he further adds that when you stand at that topmost peak, you will feel so spiritual, you will feel so heavenly about there, that you will automatically remember your God, and definitely you are going to bow him down, whosoever God you are believing. So students, what's the meaning of obeisance here? Obeisance means willingness to obey someone, giving respect to someone, like you are giving respect to your parents, you are giving respect to your God, whosoever God you believe in. So when you stand at the topmost peak of the mountain, you bow down to your God. I left on Everest a picture of Guru Nanak. Rawat left a picture of Goddess Durga. Fu Dorji left a relic of the Buddha. Edmund Hillary had buried a cross under in the snow. These are not symbols of conquest but of reverence. Means whosoever is climbing the mountains, and when they come up to their destinations, they leave some symbols there, not to show their conquest. Conquest means jeet, vijay, victory, you can say conquest. But these are not signs. Leaving symbols there means it doesn't show that you are showing your conquest over the mountain, but you are showing the symbols of your reverence there. What's the meaning of reverence? It's a feeling of great respect. So these symbols, whatever symbols you leave over there, they gives a feeling of great honor. The experience of having climbed to the summit changes you completely. Major Ahluwalia, he also says that once you climb the mountains, once you reach up to the summit, you will completely change yourself. You will see a complete changeover in yourself.